Mark Lamb. Sheriff, let's start off with you first. People don't realize that it's not just innocent people that are innocent Americans that are being victimized by the cartels that are coming en masse across our border. We're also hearing about human trafficking happening with many parts of the country seeing a rise in it. I want you to take a listen to Polk County, Florida Sheriff Grady Judd discuss his team's operation on stopping this major human trafficking operation where over 200 people were arrested, about 13 victims were rescued. Take a listen.
We have a crisis at the border. And because of the crisis at the border, we have people that are victimizing illegal folks, forcing them into the sex trade because we allow these criminals in the country illegally. We all rail about this and nobody pays any attention. And then we want to politic everything. Oh, we had a good piece of legislation that limited the average to only 5,000 illegals a day in the country, and then we can shut it off. Well, if you can shut it off at 5,000 people illegally coming in this country a day, you can shut it off at no people illegally coming in this country a day.
What do you think about that, Sheriff? We're seeing so much prostitution happening, young women, children being victimized. It's a human, it's a disaster at this point. I don't even know how many disasters can there be because of Joe Biden's policies at this point.
Yeah, Lydia, thanks for having me on. Charles, always great being on with you. This is a complete disaster, and Grady Judd is right. If you can stop it at 5,000 people, you can certainly stop it at 0 people. That is about will. Whether you have the will and the fortitude to stop this crisis. Joe Biden and his administration does not. You know what? We just a week or two ago, we pulled a woman out of the mountains down along the border who was dead. We were doing that with our helicopter along with Border Patrol. We go out, we rescue people every day that the cartels have left for dead. These are not Americans, but they're people that are being abused by the cartels. And then I also have to clean up the mess of the crimes that are committed by illegals on Americans, to include the fentanyl poisonings, which are taking the lives of American civilians every day. So yes, the trafficking now is out of control. The government has admitted they don't know where 100,000 of these unaccompanied minors are. The women are being trafficked, they're being used for sex. One quick story, because I know Charles has got some good things to say. We had a woman we caught coming across the border. She had a baggie full of pills, about 50 pills in that baggie. We said, look, what are these pills? She said, well, when I was going to come across, I knew I'd be raped multiple times. These are morning after pills. You know, where did we get to where politics trumped people and took a higher priority? So, yes, this is a problem, and Joe Biden is responsible for this.
Oh, my God, you just gave me goosebumps. I can't believe that story. It's her. Oh, God. I mean, Charles, what do you think about this? This is a humanitarian crisis that Joe Biden has created now.
Yeah, look, Sheriff Lamb just described what's going on in reality on the ground. And the fact is, our country's been infiltrated. This was predictable and this was preventable. We now own the worst of the worst. And it comes down to math. At these numbers climb, 10+ million, probably closer to 15 million now, larger than some U.S. states. What I can tell you is the encounters with Americans are going to continue to climb. And these encounters are going to turn out in some cases to cause somebody to get hurt or killed. That's an American system. And the administration does not seem to care about that. I mean, if according to President Biden and what he said regarding his use of the word illegal is to be followed, then I should be immediately apologizing for what I'm saying right here now. I mean, we've lost the focus on keeping the citizens of this country safe, keeping the country sovereign, and preventing those that wish to do our citizens and our country harm out.
And then you have the Democrat the policies, right? That the illegals, they can commit crimes like we saw with the alleged suspect that killed Laken Riley. He had been arrested at least 2 times before. He should have been deported, but ICE can't even come into New York City. The NYPD is prevented from cooperating with them. Crime is spiraling out of control. We are seeing it in New York City. The governor, she called in the National Guard to patrol the subways. Do we have that video right there? I mean, look at this. And meanwhile, the same day she called them in, right? You got the mayor of New York City. He tweeted out it's now the safest big city because he's cherry picking these statistics. Shootings are down, murders are down. It's incredible. Then let's go over to a suburb of New York City. 4 suspects there were arrested after authorities found dismembered body parts belonging to a woman and a man in a Long Island park. It's so out of control, all of the crime that is happening, and yet the Democrats, they just want to tout that everything is better. It couldn't be better because, again, they're manipulating the numbers. Sheriff, I want to get your reaction to the Democrat policies that are also failing Americans.
Well, they suck. We look like a dadgum third world country out here with military in the subways. This is ridiculous. This is America. This is supposed to be a safe country. I will tell you, the policies under President Trump worked. My unit that deals with anti-smuggling was afraid they were going to be disbanded because of how few people we had coming through the desert, how few drugs were being trafficked in. And that flipped overnight as soon as this administration took over. So yeah, their policies are terrible. And really what I think is their policies are what they want. They want open borders. They want to change America. Joe Biden said he wanted to reinvent America. So in their book, I think they think their policies are working exactly how they wanted them to work. It just doesn't work for the American people.
Charles Marino, I'm out of time, but I got to get your thought. I got to get your reaction real quick about everything about the National Guard and the subway.
Yeah, look, I mean, people need to keep in perspective that we're requiring now the military instrument to take back certain portions of civilized society, which are near collapse because of these policies. Sanctuary cities are aiding this administration to continue to collapse our cities, which were once based on law and order.
All right, gentlemen, I have to leave it right there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.